Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Tuesday morning Mind the Moment session brought to you by Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare and Tufts Health Plan. This is a place where we invite experienced mindfulness instructors to speak with us about what mindfulness means to them and to process as a community how we might incorporate these practices into our daily lives. I'm Suzanne Rowe Palacino, and I am delighted to be here this morning with Jackie Johnson, certified professional coach and mindfulness instructor. Good morning, Jackie.
Good morning, Suzanne, and good morning, everybody. It's great to be back with you all.
Yes, it's wonderful to have you back as well. We've had some extra Jackie this season, so this has been fabulous. We will never complain about that. It's fabulous.
Suzanne.
So we're so happy to have you here today. As everyone knows, we'll start off with a question. So Jackie will pose something to us to get our thoughts going, and she'll share some thoughts with us on a subject that's near and dear to her heart. And then after that, we'll have time for questions and a little bit of chatting. So if you can go down to the bottom of your screen and open up the chat. And if you click the drop-down menu in blue, you can click on everyone if you're interested in seeing and sharing all of your comments and chats with the community. All right, so on that note, Jackie, what do you have to start us this morning?
Well, what I'd like to ask everybody is, what brings you? And your response might be to what brings you here today to practice with us, with this community. It might be what brings you to practice more generally. Might be what brings you to practice even on the days when you don't feel like practicing, when you'd rather say, no, not today. So you might, before responding, just kind of drop the question inwardly in a kind of a peeling the onion way. If you ask yourself, what brings me? And then you might try asking it a second time and a third time, and just see what emerges in more of an embodied way than straight out of our heads, the way we so often do. So we'd love to hear what's coming up for people.
Someone's mentioned to add calm in the stormy life, way to center myself. The live aspect pushes me towards maintaining structure, recenter my morning connection, helps me become closer to my true self. Yeah. Balance me during the chaotic season. Yeah. Trying to restart meditation practice.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. Create a quiet space each day. Think about the day, de-stress, find calm. And I can retrieve when I need.
Yeah. A lot of themes about calm and grounding and storm and chaos and working with stress. Yeah, that's great. So tell me, stay present, self-care, first timer, wonderful, welcome. And that's perfect. And, I think that there's something very powerful about knowing or remembering what our motivation is, what our intentions and aspirations are. And from my experience, that can be tremendously helpful on the days that there is a lot of resistance and on the days that a big part of me wants to say, not today. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with a lot of the comments that have been made. I frankly feel I'm a better person when I meditate, in a lot of different ways, a better partner, better colleague, better mom to my dog. I just feel like I'm just got a little more inner peace. So I agree with that.
And I'm happy to talk more about this and to hear more thoughts and questions after our practice too. I know when I think back, my practice really started out of a difficult time in my life when I was having health issues. And I think that that's the case for a lot of people. And so we can talk more about it. And maybe now we'll move into some practice.
Mm.
Yeah, supportive community too. And so as we move into practice, I really encourage you to feel that this morning, that you might set an intention for this 15 minutes of practice that we're going to move into, and to really feel into the support of the community that's here practicing together as well. So with that, I invite you to find the posture that's right for you right now. So it might be, if you're sitting, to stay seated. If you've been sitting a good bit already this morning, feel free to stand, feel free to lie down, really whatever works to give you a sense of both stability and comfort in this moment. And if it feels right, allowing the eyes to close, or casting the gaze softly downward, just in a way that minimizes distraction. And perhaps even inviting in a couple of deeper than normal breaths. And if you're noticing any sleepiness this morning, you might pay particular attention to the inhalation. And if you're feeling stressed, or if you're feeling any level of agitation, paying more attention to the exhalation, and perhaps even lengthening the exhalation as a way to help settle. And feeling the support of the chair, if you're seated, the ground beneath you, really feeling the weight resting, supported by the earth. Noticing the whole body supported, and the shape of the body. Really noticing it as direct experience as opposed to thinking about. And beginning at the top of the head, just doing a brief scan of the body, noticing any areas of tension or tightness, and without any real effort, just inviting any areas where there is tightness to soften. Noticing any areas of discomfort, and seeing if you can just invite in a sense of spaciousness. So checking in with the areas around the eyes, the forehead, through the cheeks, the jaw, down into the neck, the shoulders, the arms and hands, the torso, the pelvic region, the legs and the feet, feeling the feet in contact with the floor. And as we soften the body, it really supports a settling of the mind, letting the mind know that we're safe. And bringing the awareness to the experience of sound. No need to go looking for any sounds, but simply allowing the attention to rest in the direct experience of sound as it comes and goes. Sounds outside, in the room, sound of my voice, sounds within the body. Noticing how sounds arise and pass away without any effort from us. And now bringing the attention to the body as a whole, sitting and breathing, allowing sounds to drop into the background for now. I'm feeling into the natural rising and falling of breath, kind of like the swells on the ocean or a lake. And if it feels right for you, inviting the attention to focus in a more direct way on the experience of breathing. And you might see where you notice that most prominently for you could be at the nostrils, in the chest area, or in the belly, or the whole of the body, sitting and breathing, noticing that natural rising and falling, or if it's helpful, you can make a soft mental note in and out. And if the focus on the breath is challenging this morning, finding whatever anchor is easiest for you right now to bring a collectedness of attention. So that might mean going back to focusing on sound, or simply feeling the feet on the floor or the hands resting on the thighs. Whatever is easiest for you to bring this kind of gathering or collectedness of attention. And each time the mind drifts away from the anchor you've chosen, it's no problem. Just simply and gently beginning again. Each exhalation is an opportunity to soften and release. Simply resting and receiving. Perhaps checking in and noticing how's the heart in this moment. And in the last few moments of practice, seeing if you can really meet whatever arises with gentleness and compassion, knowing that everything belongs, making space for whatever is here. And as we bring the practice to a close, noting any qualities that you might hope to bring forward into the day. May our practice be of benefit to all beings. May we all be safe and well, be peaceful, live with ease, with joy, and with kindness. And as you're ready, just bringing some gentle movement, checking in and see if there's anything that the body needs right now. And if the eyes have been closed, slowly allowing them to open and just taking your time to look around whatever space you're in. and taking your time, bringing the attention back to the screen and back to this community. Thank you all for your practice.
Thank you, Jackie. Yeah, that was particularly, I found a higher level of ease during that practice than I have in my last few practices. So yeah, I really appreciate the guidance.
Thank you. And I'd love to hear, certainly we welcome any questions. And if anybody has any other thoughts, kind of going back to that initial question of what brings you, if anything else came up for you during the practice, or there's anything that you want to share, including those people who mentioned being new to practice.
I know I really like the question that you, or the comment that you made towards the end about, is there anything that you'd like to bring into your day from this practice?
Yeah, I think it all goes back to whether it's in our formal practice or in our daily lives, just having a real connection again to our intentions and aspirations. And as I said just before we started the practice, that for me, practice came out of a difficult time. And I think I most appreciate and feel gratitude for this practice in the more challenging times of life. I find that I think I can't imagine meeting this experience without practice sometimes. And yet, and there was a comment in here from somebody, about it helps me to become closer to my true self. And I think that that's also such a powerful part of practice, that it really supports our being aligned with our deepest values. And knowing that, just like when we're meditating, that we'll get pulled away from those, we'll mess up, and that we can come back and begin again. So somebody says, how do you maintain your focus by yourself? I find these sessions very helpful because you are guiding it, and every so often tell us to focus or to feel or to whatever keeps us in the moment. Yeah, I love that question. So it's interesting, and there's no rule that says you need to maintain focus and practice in silence. There are lots and lots and more every day of opportunities to use guided practice if that's helpful for you. And Suzanne can point to some of the resources or offered through Harvard Pilgrim and Tufts, the Mind the Moment program. And there are also all kinds of apps and resources and guided practices online. So please know that there are not rules around this. There's nothing that says it's better to meditate in silence without guidance. Really, whatever best supports you. Suzanne posted a link to the Mind the Moment page. Suzanne, do you want to say anything else about that?
Yeah, so if you go to harvardpilgrim.org/mind the moment, you will see, and I can type that in here too, a number of different resources that support our practice. There are also other resources beyond meditation, but that YouTube page that I shared has all of these particular sessions that are posted, as well as a couple other sessions that Tara Healy has facilitated with scholars and people in the field that have learned about different ways to handle life in general, anxiety, and different modalities that are helpful. So that but I'll share the Harvard Pilgrim site as well. That has all, a number of different resources.
And I'll also say that I've found at times that sometimes silence feels just right for my practice. And then there are other times, particularly if I'm feeling really agitated, that finding a guided meditation can be tremendously inspiring, and that may be just what's right for the moment. So we're offering these sessions on a regular basis, and there are lots of other resources to support you.
Mm. Yeah, and outside of that as well, there's an app called Insight Timer, INSIGHT Timer. That is a free app that has a number of guided meditations on there, and a community to support you as your practice evolves. So
lots of folks also like 10% Happier and Headspace. Those are two others that we recommend sometimes. Somebody else says, my practice originated from health issues too. Practice really saved my life. It helps me tame my anxiety, focus on breathing, and relax.
Yeah, I as well. I came out, I found meditation through yoga, but it was during a time when I had, just a lot of different things going on in my life that I just was looking for something to bring ease and calm. So it has been a wonderful part of my life. So I agree with all of the folks that have mentioned that.
I'll also say that I notice that practice really, really supports me noticing the very simple joys. And that was something, Suzanne, we were talking about just before we started, is just noticing the really joyful moments too, like the children playing outside or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. So Jackie, thank you so much for this wonderful guidance, and really, I think the conversation and the discussion back and forth was very rich here. So we're very grateful for that. So thank you for joining us.
Thanks for your kind attention. So great to be with you.
Yeah, and thank you to everyone here. Great discussion in the chat, and we're looking forward to seeing you again on Thursday if you want to join us again at 8:30. So have a good day, and we hope to see you soon.